So we have been talking about balancing encounters for a long time, and let's get down to it. For those of you that are still struggling to balance encounters, these are the top tips for balance when it comes to encounters. Now, if you don't have a problem balancing encounters, good for you. Go somewhere else. Don't comment here. We don't care what you have to say unless it's to add to this conversation. Don't say, I don't have problems balancing encounters, or it's easy. Don't do that. So, with now that those people are gone, let's talk about to those of us that are not perfect at balancing encounters and the most important things. Number one, CR is a guide. You have to look at every encounter, what you're putting in your players, and think about the table. Think about knowing your players. What are they good at? What aren't they good at? And balancing to that as well. But you still use CR as your guide. And the more you do this, the better you'll get. That's the practice portion. So number one, CR is the guide. Use it as a guide. Put things down on paper, then review it. That's number two. Review your encounter. Look at what you're going to put in front of your players if you're prepping and say, okay, this looks like it's well balanced. The next thing we look at is action economy. Now, don't complicate this. How many actions are on one side? How many actions on another? And can my players remove people from combat? If your players have stuns, entangles, banishments, those kinds of things, you need to balance action economy more. If your players can remove folks from combat and eliminate an entire mob on the mob side, it's going to lean in their favor. And so action economy becomes important, especially when players can remove those creatures. Even if you have a well-balanced encounter that would be classified as hard and it's evenly balanced on the sides, if the players can stun lock, drop, or remove a character for any amount of time, it allows them to have less damage coming at them, less actions coming at them, and they can focus on the targets. Veteran players will know this, and so will veteran squads. Meaning, if your players have been playing a lot and they've been learning, they've learned that removing people from the battlefield is the biggest advantage they have, and they will begin to focus fire. That's huge. If you have a way to remove the focus fire by setting someone that's deadly off at the distance where your melee range can't get to them and the players have to take them out by either utilizing their magic or teleporting the rogue over there, that's great. But that's more mechanics designed. So number one, we talked about, that is the CR as your guide. Number two is balancing action economy. Just making sure the actions are even on the other side, especially when the players can remove the actions. So if I know the players always cast banishment, they can stun lock one down by using bonus actions, I'll give this side a little bit of a bonus actions so they can even that out. Now, that doesn't mean adding more mobs. It could mean taking the mobs you have and allowing them special reactions that you've created as a dungeon master, partial homebrews, allowing them to use bonus actions to pop potions or to do defensive actions or to have additional movements. There are things you can do as a dungeon master that doesn't mean adding more mobs, but allowing those mobs to take more actions without breaking the action, bonus action, reaction. A lot of mobs don't have bonus actions or reactions, but if you give them to them, it's an easy thing to keep in mind. Don't worry about overcomplicating it. It's not that big of a deal. Trust yourself. You can do it. Number three, if you're still struggling with balancing those, you've already done CR as a guide, you've balanced the action economy, and then start looking at how your players are responding, right? Really delve into this. Are they working as a team? Are they making suboptimal choices? Do they work together? Do they not work together? Do they take 30 minutes for one person to make a turn? If that's the case, just speed combat up a little bit. Tell them, hey, if you want to talk tactics, talk before and after. But during combat, we're going to move through it. It's okay to make suboptimal actions. You only do this if they spend so much time deciding one action to get the optimal play. Now, if that's how your table plays, fine, that's okay. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm saying it's a great way to balance the encounters if they're doing that to make every play and every actionable the optimal action. I don't allow that in my games. Not my tables, but that's okay. That's just my tables. Then finally, if you're still struggling to balance encounters, you've taken CR into account. You've taken your table into account. You've taken action economy into account. You've taken your players doing stupid stuff into account. The final thing you can do is practice more. And what I mean by that is put more encounters in front of your players. Put small encounters in front of your players and balance on the fly. Learning how to balance on the fly by using waves and phases and extra actions and potions and ways to make the bad guys bigger and beefier when you haven't decided beforehand by changing what they're capable of, that is the final step. And that's why, as a dungeon master, that's the key for me. Very rarely do I get an encounter perfectly when I'm putting it in front of my players. But what I do is recognize when the players are winning and I need it to be more difficult, finding a plausible in-game mechanic that the players would believe of creating that encounter. Meaning, the paladin that's on the other side can pop a potion and heal himself. The paladin comes out and hits him with a massive smite, knocking him back. So that person takes an action their turn and chugs a potion of healing and giant strength, gaining 3d6 health, 3d6, 3d8, 4d6, whatever I need it to be back. That potion did not exist until I needed it to be there. Is that fair to the players? I don't know. I don't. But the players have never questioned it because, hey, this is the fight. This is the boss fight. Oh, I didn't see that coming, right? They didn't plan for it. And so that's okay to balance an encounter on the fly if you messed up in the prep stages. That's really the final step. Utilizing waves, utilizing phases, utilizing magic items, utilizing mechanics that you didn't think of beforehand, right? You place this on the bridge, they're getting wiped out. So the bad guys retreat. And as they cross the last step of the bridge, they cut the cables of the bridge. I don't know. That wasn't part of the plan, but it is now because the bad guys are getting whooped on. I need to add an extra phase in here and give the bad guys a chance to recover because this is not how I planned to go. And so I'm thinking like the bad guys and I'm just giving them something extra to do. Or as we go across the bridge, we throw alchemist fire on the bridge. Now the players have to cross through the alchemist fire as the bridge gets turned and we set a die. And in the 5 turns, when that reaches 0, the bridge will crumble. So they've got to get across, but the bad guys are holding the line, keeping them on the bridge. That's a great mechanic. So those are the types of things to keep in mind when you're doing this. You can do all the prep work you can. You can try to figure everything out, and the dice may just be in your favor, or they may not be in the player's favor. Balancing on the fly doesn't mean making things harder. It can sometimes mean making things easier. And you don't have to fudge dice and you don't have to lie to your players to do it. We can talk about those from a thematic standpoint, or if you should even do that, but you can always balance an encounter on the fly. That's really when people say, I don't have problems balancing encounters. It's because 1, they either don't care, or 2, they have learned to balance them on the fly and to figure out how their party, how their table is going to respond. And so that's really the keys. It's all these things all together. If you still don't know what I'm talking about, make sure that you go to the books and look up how to build encounters. It's there in the player's handbook. There's no one that's going to walk you through that. But taking an easy encounter, throwing them on the table, and just running with it and trying to keep it simple and moving forward, that's your practice. That's what will make you great at building encounters, is by doing it more often. If you only run 1 encounter per session and you run once a month, that's only 12 times to practice. I will try to have 4 to 9 encounters per session. But Richard, encounters take forever. But in my opinion, they shouldn't. If you're playing a game that's combat oriented. If you're not, do it on your own time. Throw the minis down. Have the players run a scenario so you as the dungeon master can do it. I don't have the time to do that. There's only so much I can do. I can tell you all the advice, but you're gonna have to get out there and do it. That's what will make you great. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes you better because you can always be better next time. And that's all that we're asking for. That's all that you should be asking for, is to just do better this time than you did last time. If you do that, you will be a phenomenal GM. Besides, you're already a great dungeon master. You're already sitting at that table helping your friends play a wonderful game. And guys, thank you for joining us for the Encounter series. I will put all this together in one final long-form video. But as always, thank you. And we'll see you when? We'll see you next time.